Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of From the Rough, America's favorite golf podcast. It is a Wednesday edition, which means we are going to preview the upcoming John Deere Classic from up there in, what is that stupid thing in Iowa? It's in that Quad Cities area, isn't it, up there somewhere?
They got that little Quad Cities there. It's kind of a little cool area. Only in the summer, only for about 6 weeks. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You won't hear me say Quad Cities and cool very often, but this time of year you will.
That voice you are hearing and that picture you are seeing in the, I don't know, the salmon-colored polo pullover there, that's one PGA of America member, Johnny Gerber. He is coming at you from Kansas City, Missouri, doing some work up there for the show. I am live from the DSP Media Podcast Studios here in Dallas, Texas, in hot Dallas, Texas. And it is golf time in Texas, in Kansas City, I guess. I'll go that route, too. As we are going to go, we didn't have a Monday show. We apologize for that. Johnny had some work stuff come up there. But we're going to make it up to you today with an hour-long. God, we're going to try to fit all this in. We're going to recap the Rocket Mortgage and the U.S. Senior Open and preview the John Deere Classic, all within the confines of 60 minutes. Somehow, I don't know how it's going to work.
We'll get it in. You know, I know none of y'all going to leave, so we're going to get it in. If we go a couple minutes over, 10:15, I know you guys are going to continue to watch because you know at the end of the show we'll give you that tease because we know at the end of the show you want to get all those picks. So just stay tuned. It's going to be a fun show. So, again, sorry we couldn't make that happen on Monday. Traveling here the next couple months to get this DSP and FanStream Sports, some of this stuff going here up in this Midwest Kansas City market area is going to be great for us, but bear with us. We might be in and out of some of these shows. We might sneak in a couple of those new Saturday shows here pretty soon. If I will kind of jump back on that a little bit. So stay tuned. We got some really good stuff coming up.
First, let's go ahead and get right into it, Johnny. The U.S. Senior Open, Bernhard Langer. I've always said Longer, but on the broadcast they were saying Langer.
It's Langer, Bernhard Langer.
I've always said Longer. I like it better.
Well, lager. You thinking about that beer?
I wish I had one right now.
I know you do. Cocktails are good.
He makes history, Johnny. He is the all-time winningest player, I guess, on the Champions Tour. I still call it the Senior Tour. But the all-time winningest player on the Champions Tour. He beat out a couple of Wisconsin natives up there in Wisconsin, Jerry Kelly and Steve Stricker. I believe you had Jerry Kelly on your card, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We had Jerry Kelly to win part of our. We don't do that very often. We just talk. We really kind of focus on the PGA Tour. But when you have some of those events, but I remember last year, 2 years ago, we had that. We doubled up. Mm-hmm. So I think we won Europe. Did we win Europe or the seniors in the PGA Tour? We almost went three. We almost three up. Like one week I think the U.S. Senior Open was won the same week as an alternate field event and then the Scottish Open. And then I think we had a chance to win all three events, which obviously is unprecedented, but we did go 2 of the 3, which is pretty cool. And we don't do that very often. Some of these majors for the Senior Opens, if really jumps out to me, I like. And I did like Jerry Kelly, but, shooting, let's be honest. Longer really shot 10 under. He bogeyed the last couple of holes, but he was in complete control the whole time. And, but he set he set more than one record. He set the record for the most Champions Tour victories. Right. He set the record for the oldest to win a senior major, and he set the record oldest to win a Champions Tour event. Yeah. So, the guy just continues to, break records when it comes to that. And that's just a testament of, keeping his body in shape. He's never really had a lot of injuries, even though when he was playing the big tour, he never really had those injuries, man. So, the guy loves to play golf. He's one of those gentlemen of the game that everyone really loves. And that just goes to show for somebody like you that's really getting old, there's still some hope with you down the road.
I wish I could swing the club like him.
And you set a record. You set a record the other day for yourself, didn't you?
I set a record on Saturday, the first round of golf I've played in 3 years, I think, and we spoke a little bit about it, but I shot an 87, Johnny. First time out in 3 years, I shot an 87.
I know you only played 14 holes, and that's great, man. And I know that's how it kind of worked out for you because you had a little rain, the weather, you shut it down. But no, good for you, man. We had a little side wager on what
we did.
And you still ain't sent me that scorecard, man. So I might protest till I see that.
Okay, well, you can protest. I just gotta go get. I gotta have him send it to me.
Yeah.
My buddy shot a 74, and he wanted to keep the card because he keeps all his rounds, I guess, under 80.
74 is good.
Yeah, over at Brookhaven. Yeah, he did really well. He was kicking my butt, and he was having such a good round. He wasn't paying much attention to me, which was great. Because then I wasn't too nervous, with guys watching me like I usually am. But
so he didn't see you kick it out of the woods and stuff like that.
He didn't see me using the foot wedge and taking the. I told you I only took one mulligan, and it was the very first tee shot.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have that breakfast ball, even though it was in the afternoon.
Right, it was. It was about 2:30 when we teed off, but it was hot. But anyway, getting back to Bernhard Langer. Yeah, he's 65 years old. He is the oldest to win a tournament. It's his 46th victory since turning 50, since joining the senior tour. He was tied with Hale Irwin, another good guy from back in the day, man. Since February 19th when he won the Chubb Classic for the 5th time. So, yeah, he's also the oldest player to win on the PGA Tour Champions, rewriting his own record for the 5th time. It's his 12th senior major title. That extends his own record that he already held. And they interviewed him after the tournament, and, how much longer can he keep doing this? He says, till my body tells me to stop. He says he feels really good. He's swinging the club really well, and he goes, I'm just going to do it until my body says to stop. So good for him.
Yeah, now he's going to be one of those guys that breaks another, couple of those records. He'll shoot his age here pretty soon.
Right?
And he'll shoot his age out there in competitive golf. That doesn't happen very often. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be one of those guys that's probably going to be able to do that if he continues to keep his body healthy. And, one of the things that he talked about, I heard him do an interview yesterday, was that the proverbial question was, can you still probably win on the PGA Tour? And he was like, no, I can't. And he said the simple fact of what we talk about all the time is, I just can't hit it far enough. And it was crazy. So he went back to this past year, because he was a 2-time Masters champion. And he didn't specifically say who he played with, but he said he was hitting driver and hybrids to par 4s, where his playing partner in practice rounds was hitting driver 9-irons.
Wow.
And that is massive. Like that's 6-7 clubs. And when you get to that part, maybe over 18 holes, might be able to get some of these younger guys. But he's like, listen, honestly, man, he's like, I just can't compete over 72 holes. Yeah. And like I said, they asked the question, could you win on the PGA Tour? He's like, no, I just can't. I just don't have the distance anymore to be able to compete with these guys. And, that's what we talk about all the time, man. It's the game has changed. And even back then, he was never been the longest guy. But, he just can't compete when he doesn't hit it nearly as far as these guys.
No, but I'd say it was an impressive I got to watch a little bit of it because, it's a major. Why wouldn't you watch it? I got to watch a little bit of it. And, man, it's just like I said, his swing's there. He's striking the ball really, really well. I hope I can do a lot of things that well when I'm 65, But it feels like it's right around the corner. But
next year, you let me know next year when you turn that age, man.
65 next year.
We'll talk about it.
I mean, it's scary that it's only 13 years away when you think of it in that aspect. Makes it seem really close.
You look a hell of a lot older than that, so don't you'll be all right.
You're just mad because all the girls talk to me in the bar, not you.
That's true. They do talk to you, not for the right reasons, but they do talk to you.
They're usually yelling at me or telling me to quit looking at them. But and then, of course, also this past weekend, I was trying to figure out a way to introduce this. I think the only way that you can say it is Rickie's back.
Well, he's been back, right? I mean,
he's been back. With a T2 at the Zozo, right? Back in October. He did well at the Phoenix Open.
Yeah, I mean, we've had him on our card. I mean, just because he didn't win till last week doesn't mean he hasn't been back. And we talked about this shit probably damn near every show. We've either talked about him over the past 2 months or had him on our card, and he's always came through with this and won some money for us. But, he's been back for a while, and those changes, him going back to Butch that we talked about, is paying dividends, man. And, I think the balance of his life now, and I really love the way his comment, what he said was, this is great. And, I've been trending and really felt good about my golf game for a long time. He said, but there's more to life than winning a golf tournament. And, for him to put that in perspective, I know some of these diehards don't want to hear him that, but when you see his wife and his daughter there, and then for him to say that really puts things in perspective, and it just goes to show why everyone loves Rickie Fowler.
He almost kind of tried to give it away though with I don't remember the last couple of holes, but
he birdied the last hole.
Birdied the last hole,
first playoff hole. So
yeah.
He didn't really give it away. I mean, they got to 24, dude, and that's pretty good. And again, I was more disappointed, and I thought Taylor Pender just played awful last round. Even the last, him finishing up, and we had him on our card. I'm not saying that just because we had him on our card, but he finished up the last 4 holes on the third round terrible, and then he just played so bad the last round. And it was, man, you can't shoot even par in the last round on that golf tournament. You could see him fading off middle of that third round when he had those 2-way misses, and that's the death for PGA Tour guys, having a 2-way miss. I mean, you just can't do that. So, when the golf course plays that soft and you have the weather conditions like that, those guys can eat it up. And I'll tell you something that people don't really realize. I thought it was a huge benefit that they moved those tee times up for them to play early on Sunday, is because, Rickie doesn't have all day hearing the same questions and listening to the media of, hey, can Rickie really win? Especially, over probably 3 of the last 6 tournaments that he's played, he's had a chance to win going into the last round and really never got it done. So I think that was a huge benefit for him to kind of get, they teed off at like 9 o'clock in the morning there in Detroit, and in normal time, they'd be teeing off at like 2. So he just didn't have that long period of time for him to think about it. And I really thought that benefited Rickie.
So that birdie on the 72nd hole of the tournament got him into the playoff with Colin Morikawa and Adam Hadwin, your favorite guy, Colin Morikawa. And then it took 1 hole with a birdie on the first hole of bonus play to get him there. And man, I feel he was kind of there really the whole tournament, all 4 days, right up there at the top. But I feel like it was a grind for him, like mentally. When you're expected to play that well with shooting scores that low, sometimes I think it's kind of a grind for these guys, especially if they struggle over the course of a couple of holes. That's not, meeting expectations, but it just looked like it was a grind. He had a huge look of sigh of relief, when he sunk that birdie putt, and rightfully so, because he fought hard for that win. He's been fighting hard for wins all year, and it's finally paid off.
Yeah, I mean, you looked at that weather up there got tough too. I mean, that rain delay on Saturday kind of hurt the momentum for some of those guys, and it certainly hurt the momentum for Taylor Pendrith. And I really thought that was really tough for him to kind of come back out, and that's when he kind of struggled. But hey, I mean, if there's anybody you want to root for in a game of golf, Rickie is certainly the person you do want to root for. But is there any more boring guy on the PGA Tour than Morikawa?
Scotty Scheffler. He's more boring than Colin. Yeah, he is way more boring.
Scotty's a lot better than he is, though.
He's a better golfer than Colin Morikawa.
He's a better person.
If you're going, why is Colin Morikawa a bad person?
He's a bad person.
Why? Because he stole your girlfriend.
I mean, that considers that, in my opinion, that's a bad person.
I think it makes him great.
Why? Because
just say.
All right.
She's too good for you anyway.
No, she's not.
She's way too good for you.
I mean, too good for me. No girl in the world too good for me.
you.
I heard that. Did I tell you that when last time I was in town? Somebody told me that I was on a date.
Said that she was too good for you?
Yeah, another girl sitting next to the bar said, she might be too good for you. I said, what about you?
I'm sure that went well.
Didn't go very good. That was the
worst
last
pickup
date.
line ever.
Yeah.
As you're hitting on the bartender, as you're on a date with a girl, that usually
it wasn't a
turns out
bartender.
really well.
It was a patron. It was a patron. Patrons
even worse.
stayed. My date left, so that must have worked out okay.
Whatever it takes to get rid of a bad date, right?
I mean, sometimes, I don't know.
Sometimes
I don't
when
know
you
how
score.
I don't know. Sometimes you definitely. I don't know how to comment on that one.
Well, it's weird that you were with a girl because all I ever hear is
I like other guys.
so.
Yeah,
It's just
right.
bizarre turn of events.
It is. That's so funny.
Notable finishes at the Rocket Mortgage. Our boy Ludwig Aberg shot 11 under. He tied for 40th. It was a nice week, and I thought the most important part of that week was on Thursday and Friday. Aberg played with Luke Donald.
That's on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Who of course is the European Ryder Cup captain, and of course Donald was asked about him, and he said, "Man, he's great. He made the game look effortless.
He's on that team. I'm telling you, he's on that team. We talked about that a month ago. I told you, I said, I'm telling you, he's going to be on that team. And if Donald wasn't on his radar, they wouldn't have done
that. Donald described him that he said he's going to be a superstar. And we've been saying that for a month. We've been talking about Aberg. Of course, I covered him at Texas Tech for Sports Illustrated, and we were going to follow his career pretty closely here. I mean, he's fun to watch, dude. The dude can drive the ball. I mean, that's I think one of his biggest strengths is off the tee. He finished the field third in strokes gained off the tee. And I think that's going to be his game for a number of years to come.
Well, he fits that mold of the modern day PGA Tour player. He hits it far, he hits it high, he puts the ball good. There's no flaws in his game. He just had that stretch in that third round when he was right there in the hunt, man. I loved him. They had that break. Like I said, he was one of those guys that didn't, benefit from that break. When he came back from the break, that he went double bogey, bogey, bogey. He went double. He shot 5 over in that stretch that he came back, and that really kind of killed him. But that's a learning experience. I mean, you're going to see we're going to have him on his card, on our card this week when we talk a little bit about the John Deere.
Yeah, he started, shot 65 on Thursday, 67 on Saturday. But like you said, that double bogey stretch there on Saturday just kind of probably took him out of it mentally too. But like you said, he'll learn from that. Justin Thomas missed the cut at +1. I was a little surprised at that. I don't know what he's struggling with. You can't shoot a 76 at Detroit Golf Club on a Thursday and expect good things to happen after that.
Nah, it's another bad performance. It was a little bit of, little light. We thought maybe after last week or 2 weeks ago that he played pretty good the last couple of rounds, and we had maybe some high hopes for JT, but he's still obviously battling and struggling with something. And I don't know. I try to make as many calls as I can, and I don't know why. I got my, I think it's maybe a little bit because of his dad, but who knows, man? It could just be life itself.
Also missing the cut, Tony Finau shot 1 under over 2 days. To me, that's curious too. I thought this course would be good for him, but he just didn't. He didn't have it. And I don't know. I don't have any explanation for it.
Yeah,
that's your boy,
right? Tough to defend in a place like that. Yeah, tough to defend, and those obligations in a place that you're not coming into great form. That didn't surprise me.
Did you have your picks from the Rocket Mortgage? Did you want to go over those at all?
Let's go that after the break real quick, and we'll just kind of segue a little bit of some other things.
Okay, that sounds good. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We're going to talk some John Deere Classic. We'll go over Johnny's winning picks that we blasted out on social media earlier today. If you didn't get that, follow us on Twitter at From the Rough PGA. He is at J Gerber PGA Pro. I'm at IndyCarTim. We'll throw those up on the screen on the description of the podcast for you. We are From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports. We'll be back after this.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Hey, you like golf? There's a good chance you do, because I said so. But what do you need playing golf? Well, you need clubs, right? Clubs, you need balls. The thing that people don't usually think about is that golf bag. And that's what most people see when they look at your golf clubs. like right off the bat. And if you've got a raggedy bag, it's not doing you any favors, bud. So get you a new bag. Go over to orca-golf.com. Orca-golf.com. Why are you going there? You're going there because you want a golf bag, but you want one that's kind of screams you. So you want to pick the colors. Well, you can use your own custom colors. Maybe you have a logo in mind. Maybe it's your logo. You're like Prince. You just have a symbol. That's the case, dude, you can get your logo on there. Your name, just get it done exactly like what you want it done by actual designers. Nothing goes out of their factory without the approval of the founder, Erica Bennett, who is just brilliant. We've seen some of her bags. We've got one of them actually in the studio. And you know what? Dude, it looks good. If you want other people to look at your golf setup and go, man, that just screams Frank. You want that? Then go over to orca-golf.com. Do yourself a favor and use the promo code DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. I'll say that again, DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. So do it today because Orca Golf is the best choice in the game.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about turf life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today and snag that window decal or snag any other special Turf Life accessories and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7, day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you.
Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to a Wednesday edition of From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports. Happy 4th of July. We hope you had a great weekend, a good, safe holiday, and we honestly hope you're back at work like we are, grinding it out, trying to recover maybe from too much fun yesterday.
What'd you do yesterday on the 4th? I didn't talk to you yesterday. What'd you do?
I went up to Kenny and Jessica's and shot off fireworks and went swimming.
Oh, you did? That's nice.
Drank a buttload of beer and vodka.
Well,
as I've been known to do.
Yeah, I mean, cocktails are good.
Cocktails are good. So did you want to go over your picks from the Rocket Mortgage, or do you just want to go
we'll go over a little bit. I mean, we didn't have a great week. I mean, we only cashed in on one ticket. We talked a little bit about Taylor Pendrith at 70-1. How strong was he looking, man? And it just, like I said, he was just one of those guys that kind of got us, like Aberg. We had Aberg on our card also at 33-1. And, after those first two rounds, how good were we looking, man? Those guys were 1-3, one shot back. We're like, man, this is the time. And we've talked about this with Aberg, man. The guy's going to win. I'm telling you, if it's not this week at the John Deere, I don't know if he's exempt for the British Open or not. So I don't know yet. But, then you have that other alternate field event down in Kentucky's, the Barbasol. So, you're looking at some opportunities for this guy, but firmly believe he's going to be on that Ryder Cup team. And that's why Luke Donald he wanted him paired first round together, and he's kind of got that pull. But we had Matsuyama at 16-1, didn't really pan out. I thought it was a great golf course for him. It hurt him a little bit when the golf course got soft.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is, a firm golf course, the guy who hits a ball high like that, it really hurts him. When it gets soft and you get that weather, some of those hitters that hit a bit lower have a little bit more of an advantage. So that killed us with the weather. Again, Aberg 33-1, JJ Spawn at 61. I thought that might have been a good spot for him, but again, the weather kind of predicated him not really jumping in that spot. Again, Taylor Pendrith 70-1. We did cash in on Steven Yeager at plus 650 to finish in the top 10. He made a great run there in the last round to kind of jump in that realm. Colin Tarrant, we had him plus 1,100. He was sitting there at 6th place after the second round, and then kind of faltered on the weekend. 2 top 20s, as we always do. Thomas Dietrich was a little MC Hammer, I believe, and then somebody hassled the Hoff because he didn't finish in that top 20. Charlie Hoffman at plus 550. So not a great week. On top of that, we lost a little bit of money. We did go 0-1-1, no wins. We only had one matchup on Saturday or on Sunday, or 2 matchups. So we went 0-1-1 to get our total to 67, 20-5 or 20-6 for the year on matchups. And after a little bit of a loss, we're still profitable, 67.40 year to date, $6,740 units, however you decide to say it. And then, like we talked about, we had a little alternate pick there on Jerry Kelly I believe we had him at 18-1 18-1. Excuse me. To win the Senior Open. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Allergies.
Must be a cat in your room.
Yes, but allergies. 16-1. So we did lose a little bit of money, but like I said, follow the system. We're finally up a little bit, got a little bit to play with, but bigger and better things this week at the John Deere.
Bigger and better things. Johnny's Picks is always brought to you by Golf Central Magazine. Head over to golfcentralmag.com. Check out the latest issue. We will have the July issue coming out here in a number of days. But head over to golfcentralmag.com. Sign up to receive the issues in the digital copy in your inbox when it's released. Again, it's free for you. Check it out over there. My favorite feature, of course, is the Cart Girl of the Month. I have a strong record of the Cart Girls, and we'll keep that going and update everybody after the July issue comes out, see how that rolls.
Strong record doesn't always mean positive record, so let's just
didn't say it was good or bad. I just said it was strong. So pay attention to that. Yes, Johnny, one more event in the United States remains before the PGA Tour turns its attention to the British Open. And yes, it's the British Open, not the Open Championship. And, coming off the heels of what I thought was a pretty thrilling Rocket Mortgage Classic this past weekend, especially with Fowler winning. They're right back at it this week with a Scottish send-off at TPC Deere Run, and they're in the Quad Cities for the John Deere Classic. And I guess Open Championship qualifying isn't a thing anymore, right, for this tournament?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, certainly it is. Yeah, some of those guys that finished in those top couple spots, there's not many. I think there's only 1 or 2 that they can get in. Yeah, so I'm firmly believe it is, but there's still open qualifying spots for the British Open around the country that these guys can do. So they'll do some reshuffling after the rankings, for sure, after the world rankings after this week. And there might be a couple spots still available at the Scottish Open the following week. So, I don't want to always jump back to Aberg, but I really think that he's going to play this week, and I'm pretty sure he's in next week at the Scottish Open. So, there's some ranking points there to be had. That, like I said, I'm not really sure yet if he's in the British Open. I don't know if he's got enough world ranking points or sits in that spot yet. I'll have to do a little bit more research for next week. But, the bottom line is a win this week from him solves everything. And, I really, like I said, I really think there's an opportunity. I think he's going to learn so much from last week that might really propel him to have an opportunity to finish those, finish 72 holes. So, it's still going on. I think there's all kinds of qualifying, especially if you win this week. And I think if you win Barbasol next week, I think you get in also. So there's a few spots open.
Either way, you've still got some young guns that are trying to find their first win, and you've got some seasoned veterans that are looking to improve their position in the world golf rankings. And, man, this is another one of those tournaments where they're going to shoot 150 under par. Out of the last 13 editions of this tournament, the worst winning score was 18 under. And that was by Bryson in 2017. And I don't think that's going to change this year. It's going to be another one of these 25 under, probably.
Yeah, it's going to be the tournament like last week that you hate, right?
I hate it so much.
They're going to get on. Well, here's why. I mean, here's the hard part up there this time of year. You get some hot weather, and they got to make that without all the bent grass up there. They got to make that golf course so it doesn't burn out. So it's going to play soft. And again, as we always say, you have a soft golf course for these guys. These guys can throw darts, man, and that's unfortunately what they're going to get. I would like to actually see this tournament in the fall, to where that you don't have to water the golf course, because I love the golf course. I mean, imagine that place that time of year with all the foliage going on in the trees, that you can play that golf course a lot firmer and not have to worry about the heat and water it. I think you get to a spot there, maybe 10, 12, 13 under wins that golf tournament, and I think it potentially could maybe fit in a different place to where that golf course doesn't play nearly as easy like normally does.
Right. It is a par 71, 7,257 yards. Of course, TPC Deere run. The purse there, Silvis, Illinois, is $7.4 million. Not one of the biggest purses here for everybody, but like you said, lots of other storylines here to follow. Let's get into the odds here for everybody. As your favorite here walking into the Quad Cities is Russell Henley at 14-1. I've heard rumors of him maybe quietly contending to make the U.S. Ryder Cup team, and a win this week would certainly go far, but I think he's kind of on the outside looking in, although I think he does have an outside shot.
Yeah, he's going to have to make it on his own. I don't think he'll be a pick. I just don't think to do a little politics when it comes to something like that. He's not buddy with Zach Johnson, right? I'm not saying they have a bad relationship, nor do I know, but you're looking at a guy that probably they don't play a lot of golf together. And I also think going to the place that where they are playing is predominantly, as Russell Henley plays well on Bermuda in hot conditions. I don't think the golf course potentially lends well for Russell Henley to play that type of golf. I don't think he's going to be a pick. I think he's got to make it on his own, because there's 6 automatics and then there's 6 captain's picks, and I think Zach Johnson knows more about other guys' game than he does Russell Henley. Russell's just going to have to kind of get on that needle and get in that top 6, and I think he's maybe too far back to be in that top 6.
He's 23rd in the rankings right now, so he's going to need some help. Like you said, he's going to need to make it on his own. He's finished T11 and second at this tournament in his last 2 appearances, so he's got an outside shot, I think. Denny McCarthy at 16-1. Yeah. Again, speaking of guys trying to make the Ryder Cup team, McCarthy's certainly one of them. He's been playing some of the best golf maybe of his life here recently. Second at Memorial, T20 at the U.S. Open, T7 at the Travelers. He also finished T6 here at this tournament last year, and again, that's why he's up there at 16-1, I think. Cameron Young, also 16-1. I don't know what his positioning is for a chance to go on the U.S. Ryder Cup team. I don't know. He's not going to be picked, but I guess there's an outside shot he could play his way in, right? Cam Young.
Well, that's tough. I mean, he's playing so poorly. And Cam Young. I mean, to go back even to a little bit what you said about Denny McCarthy, I think there's too much youth on this team for him. Unless he gets in that top 6, I don't think he's going to be a pick. Just because of the youth, you're going all the way, you're going over there. I think if you look at Zach Johnson and how he likes to pick maybe some of these guys, he's going to lend a little bit more towards veterans, because the team is so young and you're going across the pond. And maybe some of these guys who have that experience have been there before, I think he might lean on a little bit. I mean, I know JT's not playing great, but you look at him as a pick. I don't know if Jordan Spieth is in that top 6, but he's certainly going to be one of those picks. Yeah. So I think they're going to he'll lend a little bit more experience. Denny McCarthy, he just doesn't have I like the guy, man. I like the guy. Does he really come through in big spots? We haven't seen it yet, have we? So, you put him in that type of realm. I don't really think he's going to jump on that team. Cam Young is a bit of a mystery to me. I mean, like you look at him last year, man, you thought the guy couldn't. I mean, the guy's a world beater. I mean, he didn't win, but he had so many chances, almost winning the British Open last year. And then coming this year, man, he just hasn't done anything. I mean, I know he switched caddies. Maybe he took, he's with Paul Tesori now, Webb Simpson's caddy, and maybe that's a change that they're getting used to. But, man, this is the Ryder Cup year, dude, and those points are doubled. And I don't think he's in that top 6. And certainly with his form coming in, man, it'd be really tough for Zach Johnson to pick him, especially the form he's coming in. And they don't have many weeks left, man. They got I don't even look at him this year. I mean, certainly if he doesn't finish in the top 70 and get in the Tour Championship, he's certainly not going to be picked.
No, and he's, like you said, he's struggled the last few months. He's got no top 25s anywhere since his T7 at the Masters. And just the fact that he's playing in this tournament that he's never played in before, just ahead of the Lynx golf season, I think that tells you a lot right there, right? That he's struggling with something. Yeah.
Well, he's got to play. He's got to get some points, right? And and we talked about a little bit last week. I mean, why are some of these guys playing Rocket Mortgage, like Colin Morikawa? Why is he playing that? And it almost paid off for him. Some of these bigger names, I mean, they're trying to get some reps, and they're so far down on that points list potentially. They're playing events and scrambling events because the season's not nearly as long as it used to be. And now, it's not 125 to get in the FedEx Cup anymore. This year it's 70. So, that's a big deal also.
I've got the Ryder Cup team standings right here if you wanted me to run down that for you real quick.
Yeah.
For the sake of argument. You've got 1 through 6 are going to be Scotty Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, Brooks Koepka, Xander Schauffele, Patrick Cantlay, and Max Homa. Then your 7 through 12, Keegan Bradley, Jordan Spieth, Colin Morikawa, Cam Young at 10, Sam Burns at 11, Rickie Fowler at 12. So there you go.
The Koepka spot could be interesting, right? I don't think they've made a decision if they're going to get those live guys in or not. But certainly if they do decide that, I mean, there's a couple guys that's going to be on that rider. Dustin Johnson certainly is going to get a pick.
Sure.
If they decide to let those guys get on there. You look at a Patrick Reed, probably is going to get a pick too. Just by sheer experience going over there. So, that might change a few things once they decide if they're going to let the live guys play or not. But it also is going to change a lot on the other side. I mean, if they're going to let them play, I certainly wouldn't think that Sergio would be off that team.
Right.
Look at that. Yeah. I mean, look, that's solid. I mean, Koepka, but you don't see anywhere Dustin Johnson's on that side. It'd be shocking for me going into, who do you leave off this list? Probably Cam Young.
Right.
Boy, I love Rickie's move. I mean, really, if you exchange one person in and out of there that doesn't make it, I think you got to keep Keegan Bradley on there by experience. He's played in 2 Ryder Cups before. So I think maybe the odd man out, if they keep the live players in, would certainly be Cam Young. And, Dustin Johnson, is any more person perfect to fill that spot?
Yeah, for sure. I would agree with all of that stuff. Back into the odds here, we've got a pair of Adams at 22-1, Adam Hadwin and Adam S. We don't like to say his name, Adam Shank. We'll just refer to him as Adam S. Is there a worse name for a golfer than Shank?
Adam Timm Hamm, maybe, because that's what you're used to.
All right, I'll buy that. Emiliano Grillo at 25-1.
It's not, you don't say Grillo.
It's Grillo.
L's are silent in Argentina. Grillo.
It's Emiliano Grillo. It's Grillo.
No, it's not.
Okay, well, I see 2 L's right there in his name.
It's not how you say it.
That's how I say it, because I'm American.
Emiliano Grillo. It's Grillo.
No. Okay, why do you pronounce the L in his first name and not in the last name?
I mean, you want me to make something up, or you want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah, why do you pronounce that L but not the other 2? That's racism.
Because it's in his first name.
Okay. He's got 2 of them in his last name.
It's Emiliano Grillo, trust me.
Emiliano Grillo at 25-1.
And you're gonna hear that name here in a hot second if you don't keep butchering it.
If you say it wrong, I'm going to correct you.
Well, you're not wrong.
Just going to tell you. Taylor Moore at 28-1. I don't think anybody in this field's got more top 5 finishes over their last 36 rounds of golf. I think he's got 3. His run stretches back to the Valspar that he won, of course. The Zurich, he finished T4. And then, of course, last week at the Rocket Mortgage, he finished T4. I like Moore. I guess we'll get into your card here in a little bit. I couldn't remember if he was on your card or not, but I kind of like him here.
You didn't send me your picks this week. You didn't send me your picks this week, so it must be doing all right.
Well, I think we have one crossover, but it's not one of your winners, so I think we're good. We'll get into that here shortly. Ludwig Aberg at 28-1. Again, we talked about him and his opportunity for the European Ryder Cup team. He was awesome for 2 days, like we talked about at the Rocket Mortgage. But that stretch on Saturday, that double and then bogey kind of took him out of it, I think, mentally more than physically. And I think that sort of did him in, but he'll learn from that. How does TBC Deere run work for somebody like him with the guy that can drive the ball really far? Is that an advantage here, or is that a disadvantage of this course?
Massive advantage. I mean, these fairways are like runways, man. It's a big ballpark. I mean, these fairways, it's kind of the polar opposite of what they played last week. And, you look at a Detroit Golf Club, it's over 100 years old, tighter fairways, a lot of dog legs. This is right in front of you. And this is a place that you're hitting 60-yard fairways, man. So this guy is going to let it go. I mean, if he pars a par 5 out there, so they're playing par 71, so there's only 3. So he's got 12 opportunities. If he pars a par 5, that was surprising me because he's going to have iron in every single one of these par 5s. And like I said, it really suits him extremely well.
And then we've got who do we have at 28-1 also? Keith Mitchell. I like him here. I don't think I've got him on my picks. And then at 30-1, Chris Kirk and Steven Yeager. Yeager's one of the guys we saw out here at the Byron Nelson, I think, during that practice round, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's your odds. Let's take another quick break, and then we'll come back with Johnny's picks and my picks for fun. We'll see if we've got any crossovers and if it's going to be detrimental to everyone making money. We are From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports. We'll be back after this.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today and snag that window decal or snag any other special Turf Life accessories and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hello, golf friends. It's IndyCarTim from the Rough. I want to take just a minute here and tell you about our new friends over at Orca Golf. They make high-quality PGA Tour-grade golf bags, and they're the best in the business. They're the real deal. They're the best bags I've ever seen. They even designed a bag for the Golden Bear himself, Jack Nicklaus. Head over to orca-golf.com and pick up a great bag from their catalog, or let them customize one just for you. You can use your own custom colors, your own logo, you name it. You work with actual designers, and nothing goes out without the approval of founder Erica Bennett. She's just brilliant. Visit orca-golf.com. That's ORCA-golf.com. And use our promo code DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. Do it today. Orca Golf. Best choice in game.
Guys, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Are you experiencing low sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, and you just don't feel like you have the vitality you once had? You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well. Do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability. Not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you.
Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports. I'm Tim, that's Johnny. We are previewing the John Deere Classic for you. Having some fun here on a hot Wednesday in Dallas while Johnny's freezing in Kansas City.
Boy, it's
Kansas.
nice. 77.
Got his hoodie on and everything.
77, sunny here today, just awesome. And I tell you what, we talked about this before when I came a couple weeks ago. One of the coolest, sneakiest cities in the country. If you guys never been to Kansas City, people are fantastic. I'm on the Kansas side down in Overland Park, in the Leawood area, and I tell you what, you never meet a stranger down here. And if you've never been to Kansas City, I don't want to say this, and I know everybody's watching, so the people in Kansas City, if you see me out and you are watching the show, don't hit me, but your barbecue's overrated. It really is. I ain't going to lie to you on that when it comes to Texas barbecue. But
we already knew that, though.
But your city, the people, A-plus guys, and I appreciate everybody's hospitality. I'll be in and out all summer, doing some golf stuff, doing some stuff for FanStream Sports. So it's been a great couple weeks so far. I'm just looking forward to continue to build relationships here in Kansas City. But first class guys, I really appreciate everybody here in Kansas City.
It's not a bad little town. I told you that before you went for the first time, and you didn't believe me.
Man, I'm blown away. You know what I'm more blown away with than anything? It's the landscape. It's hilly. It's a hilly place. Like you got some really cool place and doing some golf schools and teaching over at Swope Memorial, one of the oldest golf courses in the Midwest, a little over 110 years old. It was a great movement back in the day for the minority, the black movement when it came to golf. One of the first golf courses and only golf course in the United States that allowed minorities to play, not just black, not just any minority. It was one of the places that really opened the arms to minority golf, and we can see it on the walls. A lot of cool pictures out there, and the property's incredible. It's an Orion property. You guys will see a little bit of nice little article we did in Golf Central Magazine on Orion Golf. And just an incredible property over there. And you'd be surprised how hilly that place is. It's awesome. It's the hardest 6,400 yard golf course I've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I could probably, I'd shoot par on that course.
107, you'd shoot.
No way. Let's get into our picks here. Mine, of course, will be for fun because that's how they always are. And just don't bet my picks. My picks are for fun. Johnny, I always pick a winner, a top 10, and a top 20. I'm going to go in reverse today. I'm going to go my top 20 first for you. How's that?
It might help.
My top 20 at plus 250 Mr. Lucas Glover. He won here in 2021. He's coming off a T4 of the Rocket Mortgage, which I think he had the best putting performance that I can remember him having. I guess he switched putters about a month ago or so, and he's starting to see some dividends with that now. So at a plus 250, I thought Lucas Glover's a pretty good read for a top 20 here. My top 10, another guy I don't think I've ever had on my card before, at plus 275 for a top 10. I think it's good value for Eric Cole. I think he's having the season of his career. He's got he's got top 25s in 3 of his last 4 events and 5 of his last 7. He had really good showings at the PGA Championship and the Canadian Open. He ranks number 6 in this field in tee to green play over the last 36 rounds. Again, sometimes it's just about value with these guys, right? You taught me that.
Yeah, it's about value, and you look at Eric Cole. I mean, those are great picks. I'm not going to lie to you; they're great picks, and they're not on my card, so it makes it an even better pick. So I hope he wins. To be honest.
And the one crossover we did have is my winner at 14-1, Russell Henley. We talked about the numbers when we went over him a little bit earlier before the break. But, man, he's just been incredibly consistent at much more difficult golf tournaments, I think, than this one. His last 4 finishes are top 20s at the Schwab, the Memorial, the U.S. Open, and the Travelers. 3 of those were either majors or elevated events. And all of those guys that beat him in those probably aren't playing this weekend. So I like Russell Henley a lot for the win.
I mean, I know you went out on a limb and picked a favorite, so good for you. I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, way to great value, I guess. But
hey, if it's my guy, it's my guy. I don't know what you want me to do.
You like Russell Henley. We talk about him a lot. You like him.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Russell Henley at all.
No.
So there are my picks. Let's get into Johnny's picks. And again, we just told you, brought to you by Golf Central Magazine. Go check them out at golfcentralmag.com. Sign up for your free subscription. You get it delivered digitally to your inbox each and every month. They got some great features over there, a lot of travel stuff going on for you. We appreciate everybody, Terry, Shannon, everybody over at Golf Central Magazine. And Johnny, as we put your picks here up on the screen, why don't you tell us a little bit about your card?
Yeah, looking for another little bounce back week, even though, like we talked about a little bit earlier, we didn't have a profitable week, but still looking fantastic for the year after our ham sandwich pick comes in. And we have a great opportunity this week with a ham sandwich. I mean, extremely good value right with our ham sandwich pick as we run down the board. But our first pick on the board this week is Denny McCarthy at 16-1. I mean, is there a golf tournament that fits better than this guy? I mean, it's kind of not one of those, big field events. Still, best putter in the world, man. And this guy has an opportunity to get this done when it comes to maybe a little softer field. And he's been in some really good form. And the guy's going to win soon. It's not an overpoweringly long golf course. And I think it fits his game a little bit more than most guys in the field at 16-1. I like him at our first pick. Second pick, we're gonna ride this horse, man, for a long time all year, guys. I'm telling you, Ludwig Aberg, 25-1. I think last week really gave him a lot of confidence. I think he learned a lot getting in that rain delay. It's probably the first time that he's been in that position and had to stop play. So, a young guy like that, man, these guys can learn when it comes to that. And I think he just had that bad stretch that he just couldn't get it done. The guy still finished, he finished well back. I think he's 14 under par. Without that stretch, I think he would have been right there in the mix. But I think it's going to loom for some success down the road. And why not this week? Third pick on the board, it's Emiliano Grillo.
Grillo.
Not Grillo. He's not a Brillo pad. It's Grillo. Emiliano Grillo at 30-1. I mean, this guy's ball striking extraordinaire. And this is going to be one of those golf courses you got to strike the ball extremely well. Earlier winner this year, giving him some confidence, and I really like the value at 30-1 with M. Grillo. Grillo. Sounds like a horse track, doesn't it? But ham sandwich was picked. Taylor Montgomery, 66-1. Pick up sticks. What a great value with this guy, man. 66-1. I know his game has been awful, and I expect so much out of this dude. And maybe I just get disappointed. But damn, this guy can play golf, man. And I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe he's getting his feet wet. Maybe his extracurricular activities on the PGA Tour are getting to him. But this guy is a superstar. And I'm telling you, he's a superstar. Don't be surprised he's up there at 66-1. I thought there was great value with Taylor Montgomery. Two top 10 picks this week, guys. Tim's new boy, I guess, Russell Henley. I like him to finish in that top 10 at plus 200. All the things that Tim said hold very true, man. I like it. I mean, this guy has just played solid all year. I think he's a little bit too far back to maybe get in that Ryder Cup team. But look at this guy with kind of a softer field. He's going to build a lot of confidence. Maybe I didn't like him to win just because I just didn't think there was a lot of value at that 12-1 spot that you could really make some money, what you had to give up. But I like him to cash in at that top 10 at plus 200. Another top 10 pick this week, Adam Hadwin at plus 280. Wouldn't surprise me if he won. He's kind of short odds, but I think maybe of the emotions. He's playing good. Obviously, he played well at the Canadian Open. He's played well this whole stretch. Another golf course, grass-wise, that really suits him. Maybe the emotional week that he had last week, getting that playoff, he might be a little bit too tired to really kind of get in that winner circle. I think it's going to take a toll on him this week, but I still like him to compete and play well. That's why I liked him in the top 10. Two top 20 picks this week, as always. Nick Hardy at plus 280. This guy's played this golf course probably more than anybody on the PGA Tour, going to University of Illinois. I can't say Illinois. That's just like just like you saying Grillo. So it's Illinois. S is silent. Just like those L's.
No.
Nick Hardy at 280. He's had some pretty good form this year, so I really like him in this spot. Softer field event. And your boy, your last top 20 pick this week, your boy Chesson Hadley at plus 330. I mean, this guy thrives on these types of fields. Again, shorter field event. It still is a PGA Tour event, but you're not getting the biggest names that you're going to see as they're going to be playing, getting used to acclimated over there to the British Open. So this spot for Chesson Hadley fits for me at plus 330. I think there's great value from the finish in that top 20 spot.
Very good. There are your picks from Johnny the Gerbman Gerber. What's the slogan here? If you're not playing, you're not winning?
If you're not playing, you're not winning, guys. And again, like I said, we talk about this all the time. I know we have up weeks, we have down weeks, but you have to play the system every week. And it was case in point a few weeks ago. We were in the hole. Our matchups are fantastic. We're in the hole. And we just had that one good spot that we got that ham sandwich pick, and it's going to happen. We're going to win 2 or 3 more times this year. Trust me, we are. And I'm looking forward to, as good as our matchup record is, 67, 18, and 6. I'm looking forward to that Ryder Cup. Boy, I love those Ryder Cup matches, man, when it comes to that. And that's why I love the match play. They're not going to have the match play next year, but I think they're going to have a match play event. But, boy, I get really pumped up for the Ryder Cup, man. We will match up our face-off when it comes to that Ryder Cup, man. I'm looking forward. But, again, if you're not playing, follow the system. You got to follow the system. I don't know how to preach that enough. We put it out there for free for you guys. I mean, I don't care if you bet $1, you bet $5, $100, whatever it is, follow it every single week. I mean, the system's proven. We haven't had a losing year since we started this system 5 years ago. Not as profitable as we were the last couple of years, but the year's not over.
Yep, lots of time to make up here, time to make stuff up here for you. Those are Johnny's picks, and that's the show. We appreciate everybody tuning in, whether you tuned in live on the FanStream Sports app. Make sure you download the FanStream Sports app at the Google Play Store. We do have the iOS version coming out soon. I promise it's coming for all of you iPhone users like me. You can also go to fanstreamsports.com, hear the live stream, as well as watch all of the live videos for all of our shows at fanstreamsports.com. We'll be back on Monday for another From the Rough here to sum up and recap the John Deere Classic and Johnny's picks as well. By the way, pay attention on social media Saturday and Sunday for Johnny's matchups. It'll be on his Twitter at JGerberPGA Pro, and also on the show at From the Rough PGA. Until Monday, boys and girls, y'all keep hitting them straight.